Hello and welcome to English 101. I'm recording this video especially for students who missed the first class or students who don't catch some of the information given in class. It'll become available after the first class. So it'll only be highlights because the actual class that we're going to do to show you the book and stuff is about an hour long. So please keep that in mind while you're listening to this video. So the first thing that you're going to do is click the Start Here in this class. Every class has a template to it, and this one includes the Start Here area. It tells you why is this area here, and then you can go through each thing and have a look at these. Now the first one is the actual link to the course syllabus, which can be accessed over here to the left. You can also click there to access it. The second one is remember to follow good etiquette. There are certain requirements. When you email me, you can look in the syllabus to see that. You have a greeting, you have your information in the middle, and then you have a goodbye and your name, your full name. The subject line should always have your class and time in it as well. So that's also in the syllabus. So please have a look at that as well. How you check your grades, it tells you that. And actually, if you look over here, it says My Grades. So it's that easy. You just click it and you'll see your grade book. Now, if extra items show up in your gradebook at the beginning, those will eventually disappear. It's just where I've course copied and some things have shown up that you're not going to do. And I'll show you where you'll find your most current work here in just a minute. So this says want to learn more about using Blackboard, and it has all the information on how to use it. Every semester people get confused on how to post and how to submit their assignments, and we'll go over some of that in class, but that also gives you some information about some of those things. If you click the second one, you're going to see My Instructor. My information is also on the syllabus. Please keep in mind that my office hours, there are times when I'm with a student, I may be on a meeting, I may be traveling to a training, so it's always best to make an appointment with me if you need to sit down instead of just dropping by. But you can try to go ahead and drop by, and if I'm gone, there's usually a note on my door. So the second one, of course, is the syllabus, and that's going to be, we're actually going to review some of that in the class. The announcements page is where your class will eventually land. That'll be your landing page when you log in, and there'll be the most recent announcement here. Your initial announcement hasn't come out yet, so that's why it's showing blank. I've got it in the student view. The home page just kind of gives some information on what's coming due. Please don't depend on that. Sometimes it doesn't work correctly, so I left it there because it's a Blackboard page that they give to us in the template, but it's really not as dependable as I would like it to be. When you go down here for coursework, you see the weekly folders. This is the place where you will live. This is where if there's any changes made to any of the schedules on the syllabus, which there will be, I promise, they will be located in this area. So for instance, this is week 1, August 13th or 19th, and if you click, you're going to see everything that you need to be doing this week. So you're going to purchase your book if you plan, and it is recommended to have a printed copy of your book. The name of the book is inside the course syllabus as well, so please look at that. The reason for this is because frequently we'll do book assignments in class, and if you don't have a printed copy, you're going to have to take some pretty good notes to be able to get credit for those. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that to make sure that you do the best you can to get that printed book. Students who don't have it are usually a little bit less successful in the course. You also have an electronic book that is available to you if you need it. Say you don't have your book with you while you're studying something, but it also has book assignments in it. So even if you have a printed copy of the book, you have to gain access to that electronic book to do your homework. That's very important. Some of the assignments are worth quite a few points. So during class, we're going to talk about the syllabus, or we did, if you're watching this after the fact. Participate in a class icebreaker. I make that pretty painless. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Examine and become familiar with Blackboard. I'm going to show you this very thing, hopefully showing you things a few times We'll familiarize you with them, and then if you're already an expert at this stuff, you can just sit back and relax and hang out with us. So we're also going to do a 10-minute reflection. Now those will, depending on how much time we have during a class and all of that, those are really important pieces to the class. I'll ask you to write about different things each time. Sometimes that might even be a current event. Sometimes it might be something that happened to you over the weekend. It just depends. Those are meant to have you practice, practice, practice. Just a tip here. If you're going to write something personal in that, please be aware that at some point a student may read that. We use those for peer review practice sometimes. So it's okay to write about personal things, but don't share anything that you wouldn't want another class member to read. Then you're going to complete the syllabus scavenger hunt, or the quiz in class. It's short, and you work together to do these as a class, as groups, to find out the answers. And the way you get full points for that is if you have a copy of the syllabus, which I usually bring extra copies if students don't have time to print those out. And I know it costs money to print as well. So homework, you're not going to have any this week. That's unusual, so enjoy it. There'll usually be something, big or small, depending on what we're working on, so keep that in mind. This is a really important part. So the Cengage ebook area of the course is the place where you will go and access your book. This is a link to that, and you can also access it over here on the left. So when you click it, and your first actual reading assignment's next week, when you click it, it tells you why this area is here, and then you go down. This right here tells you how to fix your pop-up blockers. One of the biggest problems with the book is that people try to use Internet Explorer. And the second problem, actually there's another one, is that they have their pop-up blockers on. So you have to click this document to open it, and it will give you all the directions on how to get rid of the pop-up blocker that prevents your book from opening. This is the Cengage ebook. You can click here to access the whole entire book, but typically during the weekly folders, I actually have a link to each chapter that you're going to be looking at, and I'll tell you what to do with it. This is Cengage Technical Support. This is for if you have a problem with the book. I do not deal with those technical issues because I'm not responsible for the actual book itself. I'm just responsible for plugging in a link. Now, one of the things that you will have to do, and it says it right here, is that you will have to access the online book. The way to do that, if you've never logged in to the book before, it's going to ask you to set up an email and a password. So you'll have to do that the first time. Now, if you've used a Cengage book in another class, you already have used an email and a password. And if you don't remember it, it's really easy to fix. Just use a different email. You only have to do it once, then you can access the book the rest of the time. So hopefully that'll help you get into that book. The weekly folders, I'm not going to go through week 2, and it probably won't be available to you for a few days after the first week of class, just so you can orient yourself to the Blackboard course. This is where you will turn in all major assignments, which there'll be a new link here that says assignments or major papers or something like that. And it'll be over here on the left, but your weekly folders will also have those links in it, so you're never going to have to worry about going somewhere else for that. Now, the only thing I will point out here in your class is that under My Grades is my library and study help. This is a pretty important section for 101 students. There are a lot of times where you may want to go and have a writing expert help you with your writing assignments. I always recommend it. Some students don't need it, and some students need some extra support. Most of the time I'll leave that up to you, but there are occasions where I might ask you to actually go to one of those people. Taylor Harold is the one that typically works with 101 students. She's very good at her job. She knows the formatting, the way to format those. She knows about research, so she's very helpful. I believe they even have a math tutor over there as well if you need that for a math class. So I just wanted to run through this really quickly. Just to kind of give you an idea of what you're looking at, and if you missed it in class or zoned out a little bit, this kind of walks you through it. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you in class. Have a great day.